We have arrested a few of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Those of you who are suffering from spiritual problems, you need spiritual help, feel free to contact me at 339-1670. Or if you have a property to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also contact me. If you lend a friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact Real Talk Debt Collection Department and we'll be glad to assist you in any way possible. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk with Saieed Ali in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali page, like and share as we go live. Now remember viewers, we keep you up to date with news and events that happen throughout Trinidad and Tobago, even some international news. Those of you on our YouTube, subscribe. For those of you who haven't subscribed us yet, for those of you who know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali, tell your friends and your family. Encourage Trinidad and Tobago to look on. Now viewers, tonight I want to say thank you for making us the third best news broadcast show from 7 to 8 p.m. And we still hold the #1 position with the current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. From 6 to 8, we got the second position. So I want to say thank you for that, and this is something I will continue to say until it changes. But when you have news like this and you share it with the public, and the public share it with other people, we will continue to grow. So that I want to thank you for. Remember to share our live stream, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, our page. Share it as we go live here in studio in Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas. So viewers, as we start off tonight, it's Fire Friday. Feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear your comments. Let me hear your views. Because you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have power. You know why I am saying that? Because come election, election went. The government needs your vote to stay in power. So this is why I say us, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, have the power to change things. Never forget that. So as we start off tonight's program, feel free to call in 238-6716. We're starting with the COVID update. In the latest Ministry of Health release, there are 8 new cases of COVID-19 as of today. This brings the number of active cases to 265. 6 cases are contact of recently positive COVID-19 patients. 2 cases are pending investigations. 1 additional person have died as a result of COVID-19. So altogether, viewers, the total number of cases now stands at 412. 412 cases. And nobody, no minister, no ministry ain't talking about, let we lock down the borders. Let we lock down Trinidad and Tobago again. Because according to the Prime Minister, we don't have the millions to spend. We don't. They still can't give an account for the 100 million US. Where did it go? I keep reminding you, the citizen, that is 150 million US the government gained from outsiders. So as we go along tonight now, Dr. Avery Hines says that bars and large gatherings, including religious ceremonies, continue to place citizens at risk of contracting COVID-19. He indicated that these places remain hotspots for transmission. We're going to have a discussion on that. The Prime Minister and the Minister of Health, Terence Dayal Singh, have warned bar owners and party organizers that they can face further restriction or closure if they do not continue to follow the health guidelines. Now listen this. Listen this. Religious ceremonies. We in Trinidad and Tobago understand the religious ceremonies. We have the mosque on a Friday. We have church on a Saturday and a Sunday. So we're talking about the weekend. We ain't talking about Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as yet. Or up to Thursday as yet. We're talking about religious ceremonies. That is the gathering. Mosque for the Muslim on a Friday. We have Christians who go to church Saturday and Sunday. Plus the temples. You understand? So that is only on the weekends. So hold on now. Hold on. We're talking about the bars. How often the bars is be packed? Not only on a Friday night or some after work line places. So let me ask you something. What about the groceries? They pack every day. What about the markets? They pack every day. What about the public transportation? They pack every day. What about the hubs throughout Trinidad and Tobago where people gather to take a transportation to and from home? They pack every day. So why the hell are you only targeting the bars and the religious organizations? Why? Is there a particular organization in the bars that I want to shut down? I don't know. I'm asking. Religious organizations. Friday the Muslim going to mosque, Saturday the Christian going to church, and Sunday they going to church, and the Hindus and other people have their temples on a Sunday. So we're going to pray to God. We're masking up going to pray to God, and it's still causing a problem. But the grocery they have a problem, the market they have a problem, the transportation for hub they have a problem, in the general hospital, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, it don't have a bloody hell problem. It's Fire Friday and I stink tonight when I read things like this. Only bars. What the hell the bar have in it? Huh? What the hell the bar have in it? We have the bus service. 62 people in our bus. We have the maxi service. We have the taxi service. We have the hubs throughout Trinidad and Tobago that they gather. They are not mass gathering. I'm asking. They are not mass gathering. It seems like that they're not seeing, the doctors, they're not seeing that. The ministers and people behind the ministers, like all are not seeing that. All are blind. Continue attacking the bar, and I will continue being stink on TV. Watch me, let us know the right spokes to choke, you know. Serious. I'll let us choke the right spoke to get the right answer from me. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
I would like to find out one thing. When these people come in to measure your property, right?
To measure your property?
When they come in to measure your property, do they have any right to check how much water tank you have?
Wait, Tanti. Somebody come to measure your property and they're checking your water tank?
No, I just they have to check how much water tank you have. They have to check what you have and what. That is nothing to the property is just to measure whatever.
True. But if you have 10 water tank, if you have 10 water tank, that's for your purpose, not their purpose, because in Trinidad we hardly get water. And if we do get water in Trinidad, we get free mob in the pipe.
I want to know if these people really right in their head come to ask the water tank, to want to see how much TV you have or how much fridge you have. That have nothing to do with them.
That have nothing to do with property tax, if that is what you're inquiring. Property tax is the size of your property. If you have a jacuzzi, that have nothing to do. If you have 20 tanks, it have nothing to do with it. Measure your property 10 by 20 and go about your way. When I look at my mind, don't tell me, Saeed, you have 5 tanks and you have jacuzzi and you have put that your business. Measure your property and the faster I leave it better for me. Feel free to call it Fire Friday. It's Fire Friday. I always hear them talking about the targeting the bars and the bar. It have a special bar all I want to close. The mass gathering in the port of Spain, in Hub. How you call it in City Gates? That's not a problem. That is not a problem. Going in the market is not a problem. Going in the grocery is not a problem. All the wine and dine and sing and sing while all shopping. The bars is the problem. The religious sector is the problem. That is the problem for the ministers of health. That is the problem for the people after the minister of health who coming up in the morning time and talking about the briefing. I'll find something else to talk about. How to contain the spread. Don't talk about the bars. The bars. Oh God, I'm fed up yet. Everything is the bar. When you go in some groceries, it's so packed you can't go in. You go in the market, you have to be careful. Just imagine, you're going in the market and you're so. Because of robbing and jamming. And nobody is talking about that. Not a minister. Not a CMO. Not a DMO. Not nobody. But the bar, boy, I'll change that talking now. Because we'll stink up all you on TV. Call a good night.
Yeah, hello.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, we'll say, they want to ban the cricket, the bars and things. But what about the cricket team is bringing in? They should ban that. Because you have plenty of people too.
I understand what you're saying. They can't secure the border good. Or they can't secure the border good. But you're talking about the bar. The barman have bills to pay. I don't own a bar. I against alcohol. But that is their job. The people working in the bar, that is their job. Why I will continue getting stink. 2020 is a different year, you know. It's a different year. And why you see why we third? Best news forecast in Trinidad and Tobago according to ratings. But you making joke. I'm looking for number 1 or number 2. Because I'm bringing the raw facts to all you. So as we move on now, concerns in quarantine. Concerns are now being raised by persons in quarantine facilities. Several persons stated that they did not have dinner due to clerical errors. Clerical errors. Just imagine that, Food become a problem. That were made in which not enough food was brought to the facility. Remember I was bringing the issue from Cora when the man said, here again, no medicine inside it. No medicine. And every day you change clothes, you had to throw it away because the clothes and all get COVID-19. Remember when I was telling all of that? Caller, good night.
Hello, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Good night. Time caller. I have a problem. Maxi stores, the full Ramsaran. Saieed, why Maxi store don't pull the eggs, the rotten eggs that they sell people every week?
Oh God, caller. In order to facilitate you, I have to see the egg myself.
No, Saieed. Yes, they're selling you rotten egg from Floyd. Why they don't pull that?
Did this happen to you?
Ramsaran, to go south of the Caroni River. Good night, Saieed.
Caller, to be honest with you, I cannot verify that unless I see it for myself. You understand? But the callers have their views. It probably happened to her. We don't know. You understand? But before I go any further, coming to Ramsaran, we have the pictures. So viewers, after talking about the Ramsaran issue today, last night, remember half of my show was dedicated to Ramsaran and the racial comments that were making in Trinidad and Tobago. So the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago released a bulletin today. They released the bulletin and they have decided to lift the boycott brand from Ramsaran product. If you could see it on screen, I don't know if you could read it clearly, but they are lifting the ban. Now, I just want to draw something to you all. Power of the people. Power of the people. One racial comment on Facebook led the Supermarket Association to release a bulletin to boycott Ramsaran product. Throughout the years, there are racial comments on Facebook and nobody take it on. Nobody take it on. One company employee or their family or their daughter or whoever it is went on their personal page, right? I just touched them back from yesterday. They went on their personal Facebook page and make a comment and it spread like wildfire. So in return, I asked the citizens who wants to boycott Ramsaran, who have been around for around 70 to 80 years. Just imagine some of them may reach half their age, but they're talking about boycott. Right? And we're talking about a company that supplies Trinidad and Tobago with all different products of Ramsaran. What you see on screen is exclusive footage from inside Ramsaran compound we were given permission to take. So, they want to boycott the product because of the statement. And big groceries wanted to boycott Ramsaran because of one racial statement on a private page. But what I asked the citizens yesterday on my show, on live television, on Thursday night, Thursday the 12th of August 2020, when the finance minister laughed at the pumpkin and baju man, nobody has stand up and say nothing. Nobody has said nothing. Nobody. When he raised gas 3 times, you know what we do? We sit down in the car. And when we get a little salary during the end of the week, we had to cut our salary in half now for gas and only boycott nothing. Nothing. Or let's take it and swallow it. But one statement, one racial comment on a private Facebook page, and companies started to pull the product. But when COVID-19 reached in Trinidad, a hand sanitizer that used to sell for $10, it reached $70. Why the hell all they didn't boycott the hand sanitizer? Why all they didn't boycott the hand sanitizers? Why you don't boycott the grocery for high food prices? Why you didn't do that? All I want to talk race talk? All I want to talk boycott talk? I challenged all that last night on my show. Now, the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago released a bulletin today stating that they are pleased to lift the ban of Ramsaran product. Let me tell you something. Whole week I'm watching everybody talk. Whole week. And you see last night when we mashed them up, and when I say, if I ask the citizens to boycott the groceries because of high food prices, what the groceries going to do? What are they going to do? All you boycott a business after maybe serving all you for umpteen years because of one statement. Now I'm going to tell you something. Ramsaran product and the owners of Ramsaran now, they have to understand how the public looks at them now. You know why? Because the slightest thing happen in Trinidad concerning Ramsaran, they're going to blame them. Take what I tell you earlier. That is why I come out on my show last night and I said if I ask the citizen if all you would boycott groceries for high food price, nobody can say nothing. Nobody can say nothing. No supermarket can say nothing. You know why this be so bold and brave on my show? Because today I thank God that I don't have to beg for ad on my show, and I could say as I want and I could say as I please because I funded it. And when I come on my set, it's the facts and the raw facts I hitting all you. I don't have to study about an advertiser. I go pull out, and I don't have to study about hey, this man advertising. That is not with me. Racialism is not part of my thing. Because I'm going to tell you something. In my staff, I have Spanish, I have Douglas, and I have Indian working. So race is not part of my thing. Racialism is not part of my thing. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless we will be with you right after this break.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrapore, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals, and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
So viewers, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, share the live stream. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Share our page. Go on YouTube and you could share it. Encourage your friends, encourage your family, encourage your neighbors. So just a little bulletin from the Ministry of Health. Our total case now, viewers, a short while ago I said that the cases were 412. That was of this evening. So while our show was going on, the cases have now reached to 426. Now, we had 8 deaths before. We got one today, make it 9. And as of 5 minutes ago, the death is now 10. It is now 10. We had 14 new cases as of 5 minutes ago. As of 5 minutes ago, 14 new cases. And let me tell you something. Where's the Ministry of Health now? How do we contain this virus now? Are we going to blame the bar? Are we going to blame the religious organizations? What about the crowd in the grocery? What about the crowd in the market? What about the crowd in the traveling population in Trinidad and Tobago? I want them to come out and address that. So the total as of 5 minutes ago is 426. From 412, we are now up to 10 deaths. And there are 14 new cases in 5 minutes. So I want to hear them blaming bars now. And it's me and them and bar now. You go here. So listen to this. We have a call on line. Caller, good night.
Very, very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
And my concern tonight is not about Ramsaran products and whatnot. My concern goes more serious than this.
Mm-hmm.
The police service, the commissioner by extension, and, there is Officer Alexander and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Keep on telling the nation to partner with the police. You see something, say something. But every day past side, police is involved in some sort of criminal activity.
True, it is in the public domain, yes.
Was arrested for the rape and the assault on the Venezuelan woman. Mm-hmm. While I am not a fan, honestly, I am not a fan of Venezuelans being here. I have been honest. But it hurt me deeply what had happened to that young lady.
True.
Right? That is so totally wrong, and I want to see swift justice. Right? So until police go and serve 12 to 15 years in jail for their wrongdoings and get fired from the service without any benefit, then and only then I will partner with the service.
I understand. And I would support that. I would support what you said. Thank you, caller. I will support what you said. And remember, this is the second action of that individual that were held. The second action of similar offense. So, we're moving on to the refinery. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the government will only sign a contract for the sale of the Point-of-Pear refinery if they are satisfied with the negotiations and only if it is in the best interest of the public. Watch me, I love to hear this man talk, I love to hear this man talk. If there's one thing our Prime Minister have, is sweet words. I am telling you. Is sweet words. That is one thing I could say about him. That's the same man who said here shutting down Petrotrin. Boom! it shut down. It shut down. That is the same man who tell earlier, I will not show all of the letter, and I want a letter trust me as the minister. That is the same man. That is the same man. He is asking the oil field workers and trade union to put aside its styles of negotiating. All you hear that? Put away all your style. Stating that this is a $1 billion investment. When they shut down Petrotrin, you didn't study it was a $1 billion investment. You didn't study it had about 4,500 workers there. You didn't study that. Now you're studying the refinery. Now you're studying that $1 billion. But I tell you, I love to hear this man talk. I love to hear this man talk. Prior to the election, the union had demanded the government sign the agreement with its owned and subsidiary Patriotic Energies and Technologies Company Limited before August 10th. Why the rush? Why the rush, Mr. Rolshe? Why the rush? Take your time. Take your time. When the Petrotrin was shut down, we didn't hear much. We didn't hear much. Take your time. Don't rush it. Over 4,500 workers on the breadline. Nobody wasn't rushing to protest. Don't sell the refinery. Don't close down Petrotrin. We didn't hear nothing. So take your time. Take your time. Birds of a feather flock together. All you know what I'm saying? It's not for anybody, you know, but I just choose to say that. Dr. Ali guaranteed the acquisition will be dealt with very seriously by experts, as there are serious consequences if the best deal is not signed. But I tell you, I love to hear this man talk, you know. I love to hear it. Call her good night. He did? If you stick, you get the click, you know. If you stick, you get the click. So we're going on now to a little water distress. Flooding did not take place in certain areas due to recent rainfall because the government invested in preventative measures. This was a statement from the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. He noted that in previous years, the Caroni River was widened to prevent flooding in Greenvale. However, citizens still experience flooding. Rowley stated that he is aware of the concern citizens faces a shortage of water, but they should be remembered that the large dams in the country was at low. He also noted that water should be rationed. I wonder if we bill should be rationed at the end of every quarter. At the end of every quarterly year, if our bill should be rationed. Because when a man had to fork out 300 or 400 and pay a bill and get water 2 days and 4 months, it's hard. So I wonder if I had to ration the money I'm paying. But sometimes I just wonder, you know. Dr. Rowley also said that WASA is now spending revenue in US dollar to pay for this water as there is dependency on desalinated water. Remember a little while ago I was talking about if we build a desalination plant in Trinidad and Tobago, how easy it would become? Remember I was saying that? Venezuela have it. Right there in Venezuela, desalination water. They have a plant. Why we couldn't build one? Why we couldn't build one? So hear this now. Remember the $1 billion that they was going to give Sandal to build the resort in Tobago? Why they didn't take that $1 billion and build a desalination plant? Let's talk now. Call her good night.
night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Good program as usual.
It's Fire Friday.
I want you to know, because of what you took up that issue with the Ramsaran issue with the Supermarket Association. Because of you taking up that matter, they had to make a statement today to lift the ban on their production. So thank God for your program, thank God for you. And I am disappointed with the Supermarket Association. Why, when they murder people in Trinidad, they rob the doubles people, they murder them. They rob vendors, they rob supermarkets, and they murder them. Why they are not so proactive in making statements? Look, I'm afraid to go to Port of Spain, as every time I go, I feel they're going to fire a bullet at me. And who are the people? Look at the businessman 2 months ago that was killed in Tobago, murdered in Tobago and buried. Who did the crime? Look at it. So we can't put our heads in the sand all the time and say, boy, these people, not a white man doing it, not a Chinese, not an Indian committing the crime. So what we're going to do? We can't put our heads in the sand all the time and take this all the time. Look at the Venezuelan girl. Who did it?
Thank you.
So very sadly in this country, I support that young lady, In no way in her statement she made a racist statement, So I support that young lady, and I just go to this Massey stores in La Romaine to shop. Every month I spend about $3,000 to $4,000 in grocery. I'm cutting it and not going back there again. Yes? Mr. Sai, thank you very much for your program. Keep up your good work, brother.
Thank you, my friend. What's now? Me I go lie, Last night we really hammer race, Hey, let me bust a little secret to tell you. The individual who Ramsaran have mixing their dairy product. Dude, is he an African? And it's about 40 years? It's about 40 years now. He is with Ramsaran. And people want to talk race. You want to talk race? The man who mixing your milk to drink is a Trinidadian. And he's been there for about 40 years. And Ramsaran don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. But all I want to go after a racial statement, let me tell you something. We don't know we elbow to we head. I know it because of the show last night. They decided to publish a release to lift the ban. Because I've been listening to everybody on the race and don't do this and don't do that. But when I come out and I hammer them last night, and if I start to push for people to boycott supermarket for high prices and I lay down some guidelines, what would have happened? What would have happened? Because only the truth all they getting is only the truth all they getting. Keep in mind, it's Real Talk that pushed for the 6 legislations, and we got 6 legislations and 2 bills in 3.5 months. So you got to tell me I can't start something in Trinidad? But you see the war and the violence and the race thing? That is not of Saieed. That is not of Saieed. I will hit you the facts while you sit down and watching television on Facebook or on YouTube, and you will think from there. You will think from there. Last night I made a statement. If the Africans in Trinidad decide to say they're going back to Africa, how many of them will call Africa home? If the East Indian in Trinidad decide to pack up and go India, how many of them would call India home? None. You know why? It's because of their descendants. We are here in Trinidad. My great-great-grandfather come from India. I didn't come from India. Not me. I born in Trinidad. And I'm positively sure it probably have about a handful of people in Trinidad from India. Or a handful of people of African descent from Africa in Trinidad. The rest of them, the 99%, we born right here in Trinidad. And all are fighting race. All are fighting race. Why all don't fight against crime? Why all don't protest against the killing? Why all don't boycott against the killing? Why all don't boycott against crime? Why all don't boycott against rape? Why all don't boycott against murder? Why you do boycott against high prices in Trinidad and Tobago? Why? We are going to do that, you know why? Them people and them too big. We can't handle them. You know why they talk like this? You know why they talk like this? It have people who had to watch what they're saying. Because I lost an ad or something on a show, or somebody go pull off an ad. I just thank God every day I could come in front of the camera and into your living rooms and to your bedroom and onto your phone and tell you about the truth that's happening in Trinidad. The Venezuelans, she was not raped, right? She was not raped, but she is a woman. She is a woman. She left the country to come here for a better life. Where's the Women's League of Trinidad and Tobago? Somebody say something. Where's the Women's League? Why they didn't stand up for a woman? So listen to this. We have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Yes, hello, good night.
You're live on Real Talk. Go right ahead.
Yes, Mr. Saieed, we have one to highlight here tonight.
Talk to me.
Well, today I noticed a little something with a P&M office.
In what area?
I really don't want to call the area. Because
Call the area. Watch me. If you're calling the state facts, call the area.
Shogunal.
Thank you.
Shogunal's west, to be exact. We had a little issue today. So I noticed something. And for a little birdie fly and give me a little information scoop. The other day I was looking at Camille Robinson Regis, broadcasting and talking about what they did for the past so much years and so forth, concerning the food cards and stuff that they give to people who are really in need of it and things. The food cards went to the people who went and rallied with them. When it have people in need of these things, it have people who in dire need of these things. Look at what's going on with the country right now. We have people who don't have food on the table.
True.
We have children hungry. Right? These people don't have a heart then.
Thank you, my friend. Hey, the amount of things I hear happen for this election, boy. So listen to this. Citizens are taking, we're talking about transporting illegal immigrants here. Citizens are taking job to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela. This is according to the TTPS. Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford said, this is a cause for concern. Listen to what he had to say.
The third item that is rather worrying, and it should be worrying for all of Trinidad and Tobago, is that citizens, notably fishermen, are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela to Trinidad.
A 32-year-old Las Cuevas man was expected to appear in court after he was charged for transporting illegal immigrants into the country.
And first I'll speak about in Western Division, on the 25th of July, a fisherman took his boat, went to Venezuela, and returned here with about 32 Venezuelan nationals. He was held by Coast Guard officers, handed over to the police. Inquiries between the police service in collaboration with the immigration department were conducted. The Venezuelan nationals were eventually quarantined and they were subsequently repatriated back to Venezuela.
So you hear what's taking place? All you hear what's taking place? So fishermen now taking jobs to go down Venezuela and bring Venezuelan nationals into Trinidad and Tobago. Now remember, our Attorney General, Mr. Faraz Al-Rawi, said at one point in time he had the boatman name and number They had the vehicles and them that were transporting the Venezuelan them. And up to now, we never heard anything come out of that. So, are you encouraging the transportation of the fishermen and them taking jobs from Venezuela, or are you going to charge the individuals and them? If you knew the names and the numbers of the vehicles and everything according to your intel, why didn't you go and charge them? Pass it on to TTPS and get something done. And get something done. Let me tell you something. 2020 is a different year, you know. 2020 is a different year, you know. I decided to make a change this year, you know. And they say one man will move a mountain by the faith of God, you know. One man. One man. That's why I'd be proud to say, last year from September to December, we pushed for bills and we got 6 legislations and 2 bills signed by the president. And I want to talk. TTPS has dismissed claims of 2 ballot boxes at the Tunapuna police station. There were reports of the box being at the station after Monday's election. However, an investigation launched into the matter has uncovered that it was not true. This was explained by Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford.
Under the guidance of the Assistant Commissioner Responsibility for that area, the entire Tunapuna police station and its surroundings, the entire compound, was searched thoroughly. And guess what that search turned up? Nothing, nada, zilch. No boxes were found. But more than that, we also had a conversation with the returning officer for the returning center that the allegation was made against. And lo and behold, the returning officer said that all ballot boxes were accounted for.
So listen to this now. He also commented on the discovery of polling cards which were found at Pinto Road in Arima.
On Wednesday the 12th, just after 6 p.m., a quantity of polling cards was found at an abandoned lot at Motley Street off Pinto Road in Arima. That matter is under investigations, whereby we have appointed a team of investigators to look at that issue. We are engaging the attention of the Election Boundaries Commission, TT Post, the person who found the ballot cards. That person has been interviewed, a statement has been recorded, and that matter is under investigations. At this time, the investigations are still ongoing, so we have not conclusively closed it, so we cannot give you an outcome.
So that is to wrap up the week with the elections and investigations and things that are taking place with the TTPS concerning any ballot or missing ballot box or polling card or whatever. That is to wrap it up, that TTPS, they are doing their investigations, and that is what they had to say. So viewers, now we're switching gears a bit now. We're moving on to sexual assault. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Saeed, when the people are to study, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a bigger thing coming in, the budget. Budget coming, a bigger thing.
Yes.
You understand?
I'm waiting patiently.
I wonder how much time gas will go up in that budget, boy. About 4 or 5. I wonder when the price of food price and it will be going up too, everything going up.
Well, I'm watching to see who will boycott.
The tax, all them things. So the people have to brace their belt. They have to tie their belt, boy. It's coming up for them. They have to be laughing when they get it.
Caller, you know long time. You know long time. Caller, you know when we didn't have a belt? We used to take a string and put it around with loop. You know we used to take a string and put it around with loop and tie it tight to hold up with pants? Brace all yourself. Brace all yourself. When you tell yourself last 5 years was hard, well, you ain't see nothing yet. You ain't see nothing yet. Because this 5 years, if the PNM is elected back in office, I am waiting from final result of EBC concerning the polls. But remember, when they now came into office, Central Bank had no money, the Treasury had no money. All I remember that? Finance Minister come out and say, the country
situations where the source of funds cannot be easily
we're making money.
Person say, well,
watch me. Was VOPs and VAPs.
Earn this from
VOPs, the country making money, the economy turn around. VAPs, the refinery close. All I remember that? So let me see if they are elected back into office. If they didn't have money in the last 5 years to run Trinidad and Tobago, how you think they go run Trinidad and Tobago for the next 5 years coming if they are elected back into power? All you think about that. Think about that. So listen to this. We're going on to sexual assault. A 62-year-old man from Gasparilla have been charged with indecent assault against a 16-year-old female. A 62-year-old man. Keep that in mind. Hold on. Reports from the victim stated that she was offered a drop from Forest Park, Claxton Bay, to her destination. During the drive, the suspect offered to purchase alcohol for her as he made sexual advance towards her. So if he gives you a little alcohol and he bamboos and baden up the head now, it go be easy. That's what the 62-year-old think. The man was subsequently arrested and is expected to appear before a San Fernando magistrate. That is one. Listen to this. 2 men have been arrested following a robbery in Tobago. Around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, 13th of August, an 18-year-old cashier employed at a mini-mart in Lowland was on duty when a man armed with a cutlass entered the establishment and announced a robbery. The cashier was demanded to hand over a quantity of cash from the registry and 2 boxes of cigarettes. I find every time a robbery takes place in a grocery, it's cigarette they're going at. The man then ordered the victim to raise up her clothing, after which he touched her. He then escaped in a waiting vehicle. The vehicle is a white Toyota Aqua. A report was made to the Shervan Road Police Station, and officers intercepted the vehicle in the vicinity of Canaan. 2 laborers aged 20 and 28 of Buku were arrested and the items recovered. The men are charged for robbery with aggravation. So imagine that. 20 years old. 28 years old, you decide to go and rob a grocery. So let me ask you something. While robbing this grocery, so was there a policeman or they walk in there and shoot this 20-year-old and this 28-year-old dead inside the grocery? What would have happened? I'm asking a question. What would have happened? 2 good boys? The mothers and the parents would have come out and say them as 2 young boy, 2 nice boy? I fed up here that. I fed up here from parents that the children is good boys and they're raping and they're killing. When the Venezuelan were beaten and stabbed and left by the road for dead, ex-police. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, and that's his second attempt like that. He's a good officer. My boy just go to church, or he just go to mosque, or he just go to a temple, and he just pray. Oh Lord, send something nice for you to interfere with. Did I pray? Who don't like me, die all your business in because it's the facts I talking in Trinidad and Tobago because I'm living right here. Yeah, watch me. Somebody commented and said, Saeed, after your show last night, I saw the supermarket going and lift the band. He said, but keep in mind, I am a loyal listener and viewer of your program since you started out watching you. He said, you will be loved by many and you will be hated by many. I said, that is not a problem. I said, that is not a problem. I said, because the straight path is very narrow and I will have a lot of enemies. But the crooked path is very wide and I will wine and dine on it. I said, that is not a problem. And he's a businessman in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a chain of business. We need to understand ourselves in Trinidad and Tobago. We need to understand the benefit that we need from a government. We need to understand how are we going to better our lives in Trinidad and Tobago. We need to understand what process that we need to go through to revamp our mind into thinking we have the power. I'm going to show you how power this works. In Guyana, before the election, the ruling party did everything possible to remain in power. Everything possible to remain in power. That is how serious a fight is for power. That is how serious. Caller, good night.
Hi, sorry, good night.
Go right ahead.
I'm calling to touch on the point you're now making, plus on the point that you made earlier on racialism. Now, the point you make now is that if a police should walk in a supermarket and shoot a 20-year-old dead, right? What they will say, right? Now, hear me out, right? If it is that happen, the 20-year-old survives, would they lock up the whole family at home, living in their house, who had nothing to do with the robbery?
Thank you. I understand where you're coming from.
Right. Now listen to what I am saying, right? What I am saying. This young lady from this establishment made a statement, right?
Yes.
Whoever it offend, right? At the end of the day, the family had nothing to do with the statement.
Thank you.
So why the family getting dragged in the mud? Number one, right? Number one. Now, I say, last night I was listening to the CNC3 News. Now, could I call the anchor person name or no?
No. You don't call the station name, but we understand where you're coming from.
Right. Now, here what I say, right? They're labeling the statement or the statement against black people where the individual said nothing about black people. So they need to check back who the anchor people is and teach them how to read the news properly. Because apparently, like, they're pushing this racialism thing too.
I understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying now. And they're fighting on the man because the man is a small entrepreneur coming up trying to make it in the local market by serving the best sponge in the country.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
No, you're correct.
Right. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. So why are they fighting on the man? So Marty come and pull the thing off the shelf. Everybody come the association. And after all of that raha, they put them back on the shelf. Why are they do the man that for? All I think call for, I just want the company to know, right? People at Trinidad and Tobago, from that Caroni Bridge come down, supporting that company. And watch me, we will make sure that company survives. What they do, what I do. But that company will survive under we. But we will support that company.
Thank you, caller. But I supporting that company. I supporting Ramsaran. Watch me, nothing wrong. The company said nothing wrong. Look on Facebook. Somebody make a comment. They should find Ramsaran whole family and kill them. Why nobody why the supermarket association and boycott that individual or bring that individual before the commissioner of police? You know, let me tell you something. That individual had no business. So they could say anything. So that's why I asked them last night, if my wife said, don't listen to Saeed, Saeed this and Saeed that and Saeed the next, all I go listen? Did my wife get 6 legislations and 2 bills passed for Trinidad and Tobago citizens to be safer? All I think about that. Think about that. That's why I said last night, if I ask citizens to boycott the supermarkets and them because of high prices. You know why I made that statement? I just go to the grocery. I just go. My wife will go and pick up what she had to pick up. My son will walk with a basket, or he will pick up his snacks, and I push in with a slippers on my foot, a track pants and a normal t-shirt, and I make in grocery. Saeed, how do you do? Saeed, great show, thank you. And I push in grocery. So suppose that, and the prices be very high. Very high. So that's why I asked during the COVID-19, if anybody standing up for high prices, nobody has said nothing. Nobody has said nothing. Let me tell you something. This is one thing. That's why I say I don't beg for ad, you know. I don't beg for ad. I thank God that God has made sure my bills pays at the end of every 30 days. Because when I start to talk, it's the truth. You know when they hold up when they hold a religious book in a courthouse, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. 3 lines that is read to you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. And that's why you're getting on Real Talk. Hence the reason why we became the 3rd most best news forecast in Trinidad and Tobago. And like I say, watch me. If I had funded like them, 2 big giants and them, you never know we could have come first. And then to retain now the 2nd most viewed from 6 to 8. And on top of that, we come and with the country's #1 current affairs program, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not going to say you have nothing to watch. Hey, Trinidad, watch me, look good, yes? But nevertheless, it's Fire Friday. Viewers, before we go, one thing I want to say, be safe out there. The COVID is rising in Trinidad and Tobago. Protect yourself, wear your mask, your hand sanitizers. Look for the cheapest hand sanitizer to buy. Because the cheap one and the expensive one doing the same work. So viewers, we're out of time, but nevertheless, we'll be right back with you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Good night.